Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation, and a little bit of speculation and news and rumors about my webcam. It's currently in a Daedric realm. For those of you that haven't noticed, during my last few videos, my webcam video and my audio have been out of sync for some reason. I did have this problem before, but I fixed it, and now apparently the webcam has decided to become sentient and try to find ways around my solution, so I am in some sort of like willpower and cunning skill check situation against my webcam. So until that happens, until that's fixed, or until I guess I save up enough money to get a new one, I might not be using my webcam as often during my videos. For some reason, this doesn't seem to be an issue during streams, but whatever. Nonetheless, you're not here to hear me talk about my webcam technology issues. You're here for Bethesda news, and I do have something very interesting for you all today, because apparently when I thought we were done with all the Todd Howard post E3 2021 interviews, I was wrong, but I'm happy to be wrong about that. I'll be wrong about that all day, every day, because we just got yet another Bethesda interview, and not only did we just get another Bethesda interview, this is one of those old-fashioned Todd Howard interviews like Mama used to make. That's right, Mama did indeed make the old Todd Howard interviews for some reason, but nonetheless, this interview goes even beyond that, because this interview has to do with the Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, and even Indiana Jones, and there is a lot of interesting information in this interview about all these things, and I'll be breaking it all down for you in today's video, which is good. That's nice of me to do, and it's not nice of me to do just because, you know, you guys want to know this information. It's nice of me to do this for you all because for some damn reason, again, this Bethesda interview is from the Telegraph, and again, this Bethesda interview is for some reason behind a paywall. Yes, you can sign up for a free trial to dodge that paywall and read this interview, but again, it's that old trick to where they expect you to forget about the free trial and then they charge you anyway. But the thing is, why are all these Bethesda interviews from the Telegraph? Bethesda, you need to go to different websites, because the Telegraph for some reason is like one of the 1% of all the gaming journalism websites that actually hides their information behind a paywall. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they think that their information is somehow not just going to get shared to people who don't pay into their paywall scheme anyway, because that's exactly what happened. I did not pay for this information. I did not do a free trial. The community sent it my way, and I'll be using actual IGN articles to actually highlight this information for you, because I can't show you the information from the article because they're so full of themselves, like Nazim, that they think they have to base all their articles up in the Cloud District. But nonetheless, don't worry, I am evading all this BS for you today, and I'll just be highlighting the most important pieces of information from this interview. But nonetheless, if you want to pay into the Cyberpunk 2077 corporate pay scheme for this information, by all means go ahead. The link to their crappy little article is down in the description below, but let's not waste any more time and break all of this down. Now, like I said, I'm not going to read you like word for word this entire article, because I never do that anyway. That would be kind of disrespectful to the article, even if it is behind a paywall, and I don't want the article to summon lawyers from the Daedric realm to take my video down. So instead, I'll just be highlighting the most important pieces of this article, and I'll be using this IGN article to actually visualize the words that they're saying here. Now, like I said, this article was indeed between the horrible Telegraph and the amazing Todd Howard and Bethesda. And Todd Howard had a few things he wanted to talk about during this interview, or at least things that he was forced to talk about, because we all know Todd doesn't like to talk about stuff. But Todd Howard talked about a few key things in this interview, and we're going to begin with the Elder Scrolls 6. Todd Howard said it's good to think of the Elder Scrolls 6 as still being in a design phase. Now, one thing that stands out to me about this statement is he says, specifically, it's good to think of the Elder Scrolls 6 as being in the design phase, not that it is in the design phase. Now, I don't know why he says it this specific way. You would think that if TES 6 was in a very early design phase, that he would just say that. He would just be like, hey, the Elder Scrolls 6 is in an early design phase. It's going to be a while, but he says it's good to think of it as in an early design phase. And what I think he means by this is, it's probably not in an early design phase. We probably have more of the game done than we think, but the game is so freaking massive that you may as well just consider what they have done so far to be in the early design phase. So the TL Doctor, that is, it's not technically in the early design phase. They probably have like 20 to 30% of it done, and the game is so massive that it's a large percentage of stuff that is done. But I I don't know. But like I said, that's just me speculating on this Todd Howard word jumble here. But Todd says it's good to think of TES 6 as being in the early design phase, and they're checking the technology. Todd says they're checking the creation engine too to see if it'll be able to do the things they want to do in the Elder Scrolls 6. Every game will have some kind of new suite of technology, and the Elder Scrolls 6 will definitely have some additions that Bethesda will have to make to the creation engine 2 that the game will require. So this is super interesting, right? Because they already did a huge revamp of the creation engine for Starfield. In fact, the creation engine got its huge revamp and upgrade to the creation engine 2 just specifically for Starfield. And obviously they're going to use creation engine 2 for more than just Starfield. I don't mean specifically only for Starfield, but the reason they did this engine upgrade was for Starfield. Starfield had a lot of gameplay mechanics and new technology needed to make the game what they wanted it to be, and Starfield is a space game, so that makes sense. So, I mean, if they needed to make huge improvements to the engine and basically rewrite the entire engine for a major upgrade to Creation Engine 2 for a space game, then what the heck is the Elder Scrolls 6 going to have? What new upgrades beyond a space game is TES 6 going to have? Because Todd specifically says here that they're going to have to make further upgrades to the Creation Engine 2 for the Elder Scrolls 6, so that's interesting. The only thing I can speculate on here is obviously the Elder Scrolls 6 won't have space. Probably, I mean, maybe it will, but I highly doubt that. But I believe the Elder Scrolls 6 will have actual naval combat and exploration, meaning you'll be sailing around on a ship. I don't think there's going to be water-based physics and mechanics, or at least, like, not ship-based mechanics in the water in Starfield. There'll probably be spaceship mechanics, but not water ship mechanics. So what I think he means by that is they're going to have to do big overhauls and upgrades for the water system and the ocean system, or whatever it's going to be, in the Elder Scrolls 6. But it's still interesting to know that there's going to be major upgrades to the Creation Engine 2 for the Elder Scrolls 6 specifically. And to be honest, I mean, we kind of knew that the Elder Scrolls 6 was in an early design phase, more or less. But by Todd's words here, it seems like it's actually more complete than we may think. I know there's going to be a lot of articles and people out there talking about this like, oh, it's in an early design phase. We already knew that, but I think you all are not paying close attention here. He says it's good to think of the Elder Scrolls 6 as still being in an early design phase, not that it is in an early design phase. So I think that means that more is done of TES 6 than we think, but the game is so massive that they're still in an early stage. To move away from the Elder Scrolls 6 and the Creation Engine 2, he continues on in the article and the interview by talking about the Indiana Jones game, and apparently Todd Howard loves Indiana Jones so much that he has been trying to make an Indiana Jones game since 2009. However, my guess is the technology to make that game the way he wanted it to be probably didn't exist yet back then, because it seems like if the technology to make a game that Todd Howard wants to make doesn't exist, he won't just lessen the game's technology or mechanics to put the game out with less content than he wanted it to have. It seems like Todd Howard is actually very patient, like some kind of immortal being, and he will wait a long time for the technology to exist in order to make a game he wants to make, rather than just rush the game out with less content than he wanted it to have. So, I mean, if anything speaks to the level of quality control that Todd Howard has, it would be this right here, because it's now 2021, and we only got the Indiana Jones teaser trailer kind of recently. I mean, it's been a little bit of time, but in regards to him wanting to make this game since 2009, I mean, that just shows you how long Todd Howard's creative thought processes are, and he's been wanting to make Starfield, or at least a game like Starfield, since the early 90s, but the technology to make that game didn't exist yet back then. So yeah, Todd Howard is an immortal vampire game developer confirmed. And although there is a little bit more information in this strangely paywalled Telegraph Bethesda interview, which is the second paywall Bethesda interview, most of it is not worth paying into their paywall for. I would recommend you not pay into these paywalls, even though it kind of would piss them off to hear me say this. I kind of disagree with all this information being kept behind a paywall, because that's just stupid. They know that this information is going to be looked upon greatly by the community, and not only that, they know a lot of gaming journalists like myself and IGN and stuff are going to need this information as well. So they strategically put this information behind a paywall because they know journalists will need it, so they'll pay for it in order to get it and report on it, and basically pay for it in order to do their job, which I disagree with. Information should be free and accessible. Unless all Bethesda interviews have always been behind a paywall, there's no reason why a certain percentage of them should be behind a paywall. I think that's just kind of dumb. I know my opinion here might be like debated upon by just general journalists, but you know what? I'm going to say what I want to say, and you could take your attitude and your opinion to that staircase and fall down them if you want to argue with me. But nonetheless, this is everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Short video, yes. Long interview, yes. But you can see just how this big interview is just condensed into small pieces of information, and it still basically sums up the entire interview. It seems like they just wanted you to pay for these 5 bits of information here they broke down in this video, but I'd rather have your back here. But the TL doctor of this interview is Todd Howard, wanted to make an Indiana Jones game since 2009. The Creation Engine 2 overhaul was massive for Starfield, but even with that in mind, they're going to have to do even more overhauls and upgrades for it for the Elder Scrolls 6, which is hype and makes me just go nuts about what the Elder Scrolls 6 could be. And like we expected, the Elder Scrolls 6 is in an early design phase, but apparently it's a little bit beyond that, because Todd Howard says it's good to think of the Elder Scrolls 6 as being in an early design phase. And yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. I'm not going to be like one of those channels that has to put out daily 20-minute to 30-minute videos that talk about one article and just like hit my skooma and lean back into my chair and ramble on for 30 minutes about something until April Fool's comes, and then I put up a fake video of Starfield gameplay and get 100,000 views and just say, hey, it's April Fool's, all that ad revenue I got off this is April Fool's, you can't get mad at me. What am I even talking about? I'm gonna end today's video. Thank you all for watching, thank you all for everything, and as always, huge shout out to everyone that has supported the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, and here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. The most recent Patreon supporter is Buckwheat McCoy, so thank you, Buckwheat McCoy. You are awesome, and I am going to be doing a special community stream on July 9th, my birthday. So if you want to give me an early birthday gift, buy me Starfields. Somehow get me Starfield early. I don't know how you can do it, just do it. Get me Starfield. Smuggle me Starfield. I'm just joking, don't break the law, Morty. But if you're hyped for Starfield and beyond, and if you enjoyed the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on. And as always, huge shout out, much appreciation to everyone that did support the channel. If you want to get a special community video shout out, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when Todd Howard, Immortal Vampire Developer, confirmed.
It just works.